Hi, my name is Geoffrey, I work for Jason Markk, and I'm here with Stuarts London today to walk you through how to clean the Mizuno betas. Today we'll be using the Essential Kit, which has the 4-ounce cleaning solution. We also comes with a standard brush designed for midsoles and durable materials. Alongside this as well, we'll be using the premium brush, and last but not least, we'll be using the Suede kit. So before deep cleaning anything, it's always important to dry clean the footwear first. As we can see, there's quite a lot of dirt on the midsole and on the uppers, so I'll go ahead and use the Suede kit to brush the uppers down first. By doing so, you remove a lot of surface dirt and debris, giving you a clearer idea of what needs a deeper clean and what's just surface dirt. By doing so also, it gives you a better cleaning result when coming to deep clean it. Once the dry brush is done on the uppers, I'll use the standard brush to dry brush the midsoles just to get rid of any surface dirt again. And now that this is all dry brushed, I'll unlace the laces. Cool. Now the shoe is fully unlaced, it means we can get to all the surface areas on the uppers. First things first, before deep cleaning anything, always start from the bottom of the shoe and work your way to the top. So we always start from the bottom just to ensure that none of the dirt gets back onto the top. You'll be able to clean the top first. It just makes the cleaning experience a little bit more tedious if you have to do the work twice. So to activate the solution is designed to be 100% natural and completely biodegradable. All you need is a bowl of water, room temperature or cold, and then to use the solution, all you need to do is dab the standard brush into the bowl and give it a gentle shake so it's not too wet. Give it a tip over, making sure that it's not dripping with water. Apply 3-4 drops of solution directly onto the brush. Lightly dab it back into the bowl, and then you should be good to go to start scrubbing. Yeah, again, just make sure it's not dripping and just wet. By doing so, you should have a good consistency, and as soon as you start scrubbing, it should foam up quite evenly like so. Once foamed up, use the microfiber towel and just put a firm pressure across the midsole to remove as much dirt as possible with the wipe down. And then repeat this process where necessary. Make sure that the solution is foaming up when you scrub it up. The more it foams up, more dirt's lifted to the surface, and that means you're loosening up the dirt and removing the dirt that's residing on the surface of the materials. And then use the microfiber towel to follow up to remove any of the insets and wipe down any of the excess foam to ensure that it reveals a better clean. So you'll probably be able to see what it looks like before and what it looks like after, just after a quick scrub. So now we'll move on to the uppers. So as you can see, on this particular pair, we have a mix of multiple materials. We have suede fibers on the mudguard and the heel panels, and you also have mixed mesh material across the toe box and the mid-arm panels, across the tongue as well. So most importantly, get into the habit of cleaning the shoe section by section. So when we say section by section, just analyze how the shoe is constructed. So in this example, the heel panel will be one section, the toe guard will be another section, the vamp would be another section, etc, etc. So using the premium brush, which is designed to clean all things delicate, same again, Dip it into the bowl of water like so, give it a gentle shake, a few drops of solution directly onto the brush, dip it back into the water and give it another gentle shake, and it's really important to make sure that it's not dripping as mentioned before. So I'll start off with the toe guard, getting it to firm up nice and evenly, and then follow up with a microfiber towel. When using a towel to clean an absorbent material like suede, it's good to put your finger behind it just to knead into the material a little bit. This will then work out any of the insects that might be stuck into the pores of the material. If you find that the solution isn't foaming up too evenly, lightly dab it back into the water like so, another few drops, and then just dip it back in and give it a gentle shake. Same again, circular motions around the area that you're trying to clean. And as soon as it's nice and firmed up, the key is to move quick, use a microfiber towel and just really kind of knead into the areas to remove any of the insect dirt in the material. A twisting and dabbing motion really helps work out any of the insects in the material alongside drying off the material as soon as possible. After deep cleaning the area, you want to make sure that the material isn't too wet, so then you can carry on continuing on the rest of the shoe. Just another light dab to make sure that there's still solution in the brush. Moving along, ensuring that it foams up evenly, and then drying very quickly straight after to ensure that none of the dirt insets back into the material. Now all the suede has been cleaned, I'm going to work on the mesh. One of the key things that I'd like to do when cleaning the mesh is actually fill the inside of the shoe with another towel. So I'm going to put another towel inside the shoe like so. This will then just absorb any of the excess dirt that comes through the material, as mesh is a breathable material and being quite porous. What you want to do is just make sure that anything that insets into the mesh is then absorbed from both the inside of the shoe and the outside of the shoe, adhering to both the microfiber towels. So same again, using a premium brush, just give it a quick check, brush over, if it foams up, then I don't need to add any more solution. Getting it to foam up nice and evenly. And then you really want to work into the mesh with a microfiber towel. I'd probably wrap it around my finger like so, just knead into it, working out any of the excess dirt in the material. And then just repeat where necessary. So the premium brush is made out of hog hair bristles, meaning it's super delicate and super soft. So when coming to clean things like sports meshes, suedes, nubucks, and all types of materials, it's perfect for that, as it lathers up the solution a bit more than a standard brush does. The standard brush itself is made out of acrylic bristles, meaning it's a little harder. So this is only for durable materials like the midsoles and leathers that are quite stiff. So make sure to refer to only the soft brush when coming to clean delicate materials. You can also use the premium brush to clean like the lining of the shoe, so you might be able to see that there's some dirt on the lining of the shoe. So just same again, just use the softer brush, just quickly brush over that area so it foams up nice and evenly. And then same again, use the towel to work out any of the excess dirt that's in the material and wipe away any of the excess foam to dry it off and clean it as much as possible. One of the key reasons why we tend to clean things section by section is when there's multiple mixes of material, you want to avoid any cross bleeding of colour or any transferring of colour from different types of materials. So by cleaning it section by section just helps you manage how well it cleans and making sure that none of the colour runs into areas that it's not supposed to. You can quickly see the before and after of both the shoes. The suede material will look a little darker whilst it's drying, but once it's fully dry, it's really important to then refer to the suede kit to re-nap the suede. When suede dries, it tends to get a bit hard, so what that means, it needs a bit of reconditioning. So the suede brush is actually made out of a horsehair bristle brush, meaning it's super soft, super dense, perfect for basically fluffing the suede back up. And then you have the eraser. So what the eraser is made out of is the crepe rubber that is seen on a wallaby. It's super grippy, super sticky, so you can use this as you would erase pencil from paper, not too much pressure but enough to make sure that the pencil is completely removed and the paper isn't creased. That kind of pressure is perfect to be used on suede materials. Alternating between the suede brush and the suede eraser like so will then allow you to see a clearer idea of how much of the suede needs re-napping, and then the eraser also shows you very quickly how well you can re-nap the suede and bring back any areas that feel a little stiff, a little dry. It's always best to go one way and then go back to the other, as opposed to just rubbing it back and forth quite vigorously. This is just to avoid over-napping the material. And then same again, use the brush, back and forth, and just fluff the suede back out, and you can see that the nap moves quite smoothly. It's quite common for suede to have fibres flake off on the material. Don't worry too much about that, that's part of the property of the material. When dry brushing anything like so, which is suede-like materials, fibres will come off, damaging it as you're using delicate materials and tools to look after it. But interchanging between the two really will help bring back the butteriness in suede. When you've been caught out in the rain or after you've gone for a deep clean, once it's fully dry, you can use this process to bring the suede back. Last but not least, I'll show you how to clean the laces quickly. So a lot of people tend to want to throw laces into the washing machine, but it's actually better to clean it with direct contact. So what that means is you can just throw it into the bowl of water I was cleaning the shoes with, and then by doing so you want to squeeze out all the excess water so that it's damp, and then just apply a drop of solution into the palm of your hands, and then just give it a really firm rub so it foams up quite evenly like so. One drop of the solution goes a really long way. A 4-ounce bottle of the solution actually delivers up to 100 cleans. Depending on how dirty the footwear is and how intricate the clean is as well. But once it's nice and foamed up like so, what you want to do is, before you rinse it out in some clear water, is get the microfiber towel, and you just really want to give it a firm pinch. So put it between the towel like so, and just give it a firm pinch so that the towel can scrub against the lace to push out any of the excess dirt. Repeat it a few times where necessary. If it's really badly inset laces, you might want to soak them overnight before you do this process. And then after you've deep cleaned it like so, put it back in the water just to rinse out any of the excess solution. And then ideally run it under a tap or in a bowl of water till the water runs clear in the lace. This is just to ensure that there's no solution that's still in the lace. And then when you dry it, same again, go through the process of pinching it through the towel several times to push out any of the excess solution in the laces, and then allow it to air dry once it's fully rinsed out. Please remember not to lace the shoes up when the shoe is wet or the laces are wet. This is just to ensure that there isn't any water markings or discoloration that happens in materials that get pressed against the lace. Secondly is to avoid any water stains or watermarks forming in the material. Last but not least, the aftercare for the brushes. Always allow the brushes to dry face down. They are real wood, so the acrylic bristle brush is housed with a real wood handle. So allowing both the brushes to dry face down prevents any of the wood expanding over time. To clean the brushes, we normally advise you to rinse the brush underwater from the top of the bristle and down, just so it runs clear again. Give it a firm shake, and once it's done, you let it dry, bristle face down. And then the microfiber towel is the only thing that we recommend putting into the washing machine. So this has a 300 wash life cycle. You can wash it at 40 degrees with non-bio detergent. We don't recommend using any fabric softeners and whatnot, and just put it into a 40-degree wash and you'll be good to go. Sometimes you might see some color transfer onto the towels, especially with more heavily pigment dyed materials like suede and some other artificial colored materials. The color may transfer onto the towel, but once you wash the towel, the color won't retransfer even if the towel is stained, so you can keep using it until it literally falls apart. So it's been a couple of hours since the Mizunos have dried off, and if you take a closer look, you can probably see that the suede looks a bit uneven, a little darker than it should be. So this is where we'd refer back to the suede brush and the suede eraser. By doing so, you'll be able to work into getting the suede back to its buttery self. So just give it a quick brush down as you would, circular motion and back and forth. Very quickly you'll be able to see the nap come back to its fluffy form. Really important to let this suede fully dry when you're doing this process so that you can bring the fibres back to its buttery self. And then just use the eraser again, one way and back the other way for any areas that seem a bit stiff. Across the toe. And then back to the brush to give it a nice dust off. Very quickly you'll be able to see that the suede nap has just come right back to its buttery self. So pre and post clean using the suede kit to recondition the suede is probably the best thing you could do to keep the suede in its buttery form.